For countless years, people have used silver and gold as their primary currency. And over those years, some of it was lost, stashed, or otherwise taken and hidden from history. These are the stories of America's buried treasures in your neck of the woods. Today's treasure tale takes us to Berkshire County, Massachusetts, for the story of Hessian loot buried since the Revolutionary War. During America's War of Independence, from 1775 to 1783, a fledgling nation fought against the might of the British Crown. During those years, the British paid German soldiers, known as Hessians, to serve as their auxiliary against the American forces, mostly farmers, ranchers, and merchants. The Hessians, on the other hand, were brutal fighters, known for their ruthlessness to kill and plunder. And plunder they did. They were said to loot the dead to add to what money the British were paying them. As the tides of war changed, the Americans and some of their Indian allies resented and hated the Hessians for their actions. As the war came to a close, a group of German General Friedrich von Riedel soldiers were passing through Berkshire County on their way to an evacuation point. Stories say they robbed and pillaged the locals as they fled for safety, but they were pursued along the way. After a small skirmish with some local Indians, the Hessians become convinced they would have to stash the loot they had plundered along the way to lighten their load if they expected to escape. Outside Dalton, Massachusetts, they loaded the treasure in a howitzer cannon and buried it in the woods, where they planned to come back and retrieve the loot after the war, when things had calmed down a bit. After burying the gold, they moved on and continued to be pursued. But due to losing the weight, they were able to make the way to the coast and catch a ship back to Europe. It's said the Indians followed, marking the trail as they traveled, but not having the warriors to fight kept their distance, with an occasional volley of arrows to keep the foreigners moving. Rumor has it that the Indians had watched as they buried the cache, but not having a need for gold, they didn't record where it was buried. But as early as the early 1800s, people started talking and looking for the reported Hessian soldiers' horde outside of Dalton. I'm thinking that maybe one of these Native Americans may have at least had a rough idea of where the treasure was buried, and word got out. It's said the locals kept a close eye on any strangers going into the woods for years, not knowing if it was a distant relative or the soldiers themselves coming to retrieve the prize. The locals would often follow strangers into the woods to keep an eye on them. Over the years, it's thought that no one has come to recover the treasure, and that today it still lays buried where it was left long ago. The weary soldiers traveling the Atlantic in those days would have had their own hardships. They'd have been prone to naval attacks, pirates, and just plain Mother Nature. There's no way to say that they made it home to tell the story of what they had hidden. Perhaps the reason it was never recovered is no one survived to recover it. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. That being said, it still leaves a likelihood that the howitzer packed with gold and riches is still there in the woods outside Dalton, Massachusetts, just waiting to be exhumed. What an early piece of American history that would be. Are you up to the challenge? Good luck. Happy hunting. Keep on digging it.
Please like,
subscribe, and share with a friend. Hit that notification button to follow me on YouTube. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you enjoyed. Good luck, happy hunting, keep on digging. For even more to explore, check out these other videos.